Yeah, come on in, James. Yeah. Can all stand close. All right. Are you all ready? So yes. Okay. Good afternoon. This morning, I started my day at Engine 5 Tower 2, meeting with a group of Louisville firefighters, thanking them for their service, thanking them for the amazing work they do every day, answering some questions they had about the city, about the department. And the chief and I were asking them about what resources we could provide to ensure they had what they needed to do their job in the best way possible, to support them every step of the way. Little did any of us in that room know that just a few hours later, the same people who were in that room talking about the future of our city would be undertaking an amazing and successful rescue. Today, at 12:03 p.m., an accident was reported on the Clark Memorial Bridge, the 2nd Street Bridge, which connects Louisville to southern Indiana over the Ohio River. There was a 4-vehicle accident that left a tractor trailer dangling over the Ohio River in harrowing pictures that have now been seen around the world. Louisville Fire Department was on the scene within 3 minutes. And even more amazingly, within 40 minutes of the accident taking place, the Louisville Division of Fire began, conducted, and concluded an absolutely heroic rescue. Firefighter Bryce Carden was lowered from a ladder truck to the driver's side of the rig to reach the driver who was dangling over the bridge over the river. He was successful and pulled the driver back to safety, as everyone has seen. Firefighter Bryce Carden is 29 years old. He's a JCPS graduate. He's been with Louisville Fire for 6 years, and he specializes in high-angle rescues like what you all saw took place earlier today. I want to give a giant thanks to Firefighter Carden, to his entire team, and to all Louisville Fire Department members for their bravery, for their heroism, for their swift response that they made today to save those who are in danger today and every day. All of us in Louisville owe everyone, all of our first responders, a giant debt of gratitude for their work. Their life-saving work made a true difference. I recently, just a few minutes ago, had the opportunity to speak with Firefighter Carden and thank him for his service, to thank him for the amazing bravery that he and his team on Rescue 2 showed today in rescuing the woman who was in a tough situation. And I invited Firefighter Carden, after talking to him, to come on down to let us recognize him and to thank him in front of our city, in front of the world, for his and Rescue 2 team's bravery. Well, Firefighter Carden and Captain Hogan and the Rescue 2 team are already back at work. And they said, thanks for the invitation, but no thanks, because we're back at work. We have a city to serve. We have work to do. That is the type of dedication, of public service commitment that the men and women of Louisville Fire exhibit every day. The world got to see it today. Chief, to all of your colleagues, to you and all of your colleagues, thank you for everything that you do for our city. Unfortunately, there was a very serious accident that led to this heroic rescue, and other individuals who were involved in the accident have been transported to a local hospital, and they right now are dealing with life-threatening injuries. Please keep them and their families in your prayers this afternoon and evening. And let's please again thank and pray for all of our heroes that help save lives today. On the scene right now, LMPD is overseeing the scene to ensure it remains safe. Our traffic department at LMPD is investigating the cause of this crash, and we will provide further information on that when we have an update. So in terms of where we go from here with respect to the bridge and the river, right now, all river traffic is currently halted while we begin the investigation and until the truck, is safely removed. This is a major incident, and the 2nd Street Bridge will remain closed while the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet works to assess the damage on the scene and ensure it's clear and ready for safe traffic again. So please avoid the area at this time. We'll share alternative routes in a moment and talk about the afternoon commute and what you can expect over the coming days. But first, I want to introduce a close partner. All of Metro agencies have been collaborating closely with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, with Governor Beshear's administration, with Secretary Gray and others throughout the day on this matter. And I want to introduce James Ballinger, the state highway engineer, to give a little bit more information about what's going on right now to assess the damage and where we go from here. James?
Thank you, Mayor. And I want to first of all echo the thanks and appreciation for the first responders, though, that was able to recover the driver from the truck, though, and our prayers go out to all the people that were involved in this incident today, though. As far as the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, though, at this time, though, we're assembling a bridge inspection team, though, that can that they're already on the site, and we're preparing to conduct our assessment and inspection of the damage to the bridge. And as the mayor stated, at this time, we're going to leave the bridge closed until our team can go and look at the structure of the bridge itself and determine the extent of the damage and when that can possibly be reopened. At this time, we're not able to do that. At the moment, we're still waiting on the recovery of the truck, and the towing and recovering company, they're presently working to remove the bridge, remove the truck from the bridge. As soon as that work is completed, our team can get started with our inspection and the assessment of the bridge. One thing that we're also doing and that we face this evening, though, is we're bringing in some specialized inspection equipment. We call this piece of equipment a bridge snooper truck. With the snooper truck, it has an arm that will extend out, and we can get our crew members underneath the bridge. And we're going to do a thorough inspection and assessment, because safety is the #1 priority for our team as well as the traveling public. And that is the #1 thing. We're going to make sure the bridge is safe before it can be reopened. At this time, we don't have an estimation of time when the bridge can be reopened, because of course we're going to have to get the team out, do those inspections, and then make the assessments. And then we can provide further information about a schedule for reopening the bridge to traffic. But again, though, this may extend into the evening with darkness coming on. And right now we've got some rain in the area, which hampers our ability to do these inspections. But we're going to get those conducted just as soon as possible. As soon as the truck is removed, we have a team on site ready to begin that work. And then we can provide further information about the schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, James. We appreciate the close partnership between you, Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Governor Beshear and the administration, and also in this case, we've been in touch as well with Mayor Moore from Jeffersonville, who we've been in touch with throughout the day, all of us working together in partnership. Now, as James just shared, the bridge could be temporarily closed for some time. We don't yet know how long that will be. We're going to continue to work very closely with the state and keep everyone updated as more information is available. So in the meantime, please use alternative routes. One option is to take I-65 northbound and cross using the Lincoln Bridge, across the 65 North ramp from either Preston Street or Liberty Street as you're exiting downtown. Take the I-65 eastbound, follow signs to I-65 north, and cross using the Lincoln Bridge. You can access I-65 eastbound from the ramps via Main Street or 9th Street. But be prepared, whichever way you go, cross the river today in either direction. Be prepared for significant traffic congestion, especially during the rush hour that we're in right now. So please make sure to plan ahead of time. Give yourself plenty of time. Between darkness, between being a Friday afternoon, with the weather not being perfect, and this, please be patient. Please take your time. Please travel safely. We know it's going to be inconvenient for some. We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can, but safety is our number one priority. Safety was the number one priority today for our first responders, for those who were involved in the incident, and safety continues to be the number one priority as we work to get the bridge reopened as quick as possible. So before we open it up to some questions, I'd also like to introduce Chief Brian O'Neill. Chief O'Neill is going to provide a little bit more detail about the amazing, heroic rescue that took place earlier today. Chief?
So, as he mentioned, Mr. Mayor, we thank you for that. We had crews on the scene within 3 minutes. I have to give a shout out as well. This is not an individual effort. It's always a team effort, and that also means with the other organizations. EMS was on the scene right away, as was LMPD, keeping us all safe. One thing I want to reiterate, this is a tremendously rare, unique, and dramatic rescue that we had to do, but the other vehicles involved in and of themselves, it was a very serious accident. We had somebody that was very seriously injured, and it was Louisville EMS that very swiftly jumped on, treating that patient, getting them transported down to U of L Hospital, and then coming back as well to make sure that any other patients would be handled. So this is what we would refer to as a high-angle rescue. We have Rescue 2, which is down at 12th and Jefferson at our fire headquarters that handles all the water rescue, as well as ropes. We also have Rescue 11, which is out towards the Highlands, that was there to help as well. Rescue 6, which is another water company, is down in the Portland neighborhood. These were all on scene. So it was a combination of that. You have not only the high angle that's going on from the bridge that you see here in this picture, but we had our boats down in the water beneath. In the event, you see where that semi-truck was stuck there and it was basically kind of wedged in. We had to be concerned. What if it slips? What if it falls? If it doesn't hold still, we then would have to transfer to a dive rescue. So we had our rescue divers on hand, ready to go at a moment's notice, should that be the case, that they could get in the water. So that was Rescue 6 and Rescue 2 down there. You see what we did is we took one of these, one of our aerial devices to set up. If anybody has ever done any recreational climbing or rappelling, this is similar to that in that you have to set up a high point, but we're just being lowered down. So firefighter Carden has a harness. He's hooked into that. He's got ropes. They've got 2 systems set up, as you see, the 2 ropes. So now he could have that as a safety, but then also to make sure that he's going to be tied in once he got down there to rescue the driver. We were able to communicate with her from the moment we were on the bridge. Her window was open. Fortunately, there wasn't severe damage to the cab, because that would have then involved us not only getting down to her to get her out, but also having to extricate her once there. So that was very fortunate. They got to her. Once again, I mentioned this earlier, she was cool as a cucumber. I spoke to some of our brothers and sisters with the Teamsters. They said that she is a military veteran, and I'd obviously helped her keep her calm, because she was amazing. There's always the concern as you're going to somebody being rescued. Obviously, they're scared. This is a horrible situation. She's dangling off the edge of a bridge, doesn't know if it's going to slip in, but she stayed very, very calm. Firefighter Carden got to her, was able to keep her calm and assist her. Not only had to cut her out of her seatbelt, but then helped her to get into the rescue harness that she was able to wear, and then assist her once she was locked in and on that rope system so that she's safe as well, get her out and slowly move her away. When you do something like this, another time that might be necessary, if you think workers on the side of a building, window cleaners, sometimes they might get stuck, same type of thing. It's what we call a pick-off. So they go down to pick them off of wherever they're stuck to get them to safety. You can either lower them down or you can bring them back up. In this case, we're not going to lower down, because should that truck fall down into the water, we don't want to have to deal with that. But we still kept our water crews obviously there on standby if that was necessary. We brought them around back up onto the bridge. Again, she was amazing and so brave through the entire thing. This is something that our firefighters train for all the time. as weird as this situation might look like, they do. They train for it. They do it hundreds of times. That's why they were able to show up very swiftly, get everything set up, get to her, get her rescued. Once they were over on the bridge, she had a little emotional release and was finally back to safety, which was just really great. And again, I have to give all the shout out to these companies on the scene that just did an amazing job. It was their training that came through when it was needed, and they were able to do this with absolute professionalism, swiftly and safely, and get those people back and get her back to safety. So, and again, many thanks to all the other different organizations that were a part of this, from dispatch to EMS to police, and to especially to our fire companies that were out there to execute this rescue.
Thank you, Chief. Before we open it up for questions, I just want to conclude with the 4 words on the Chief's patch that all of his colleagues in the Louisville Fire Department wear, and that says honor, courage, duty, dedication. All 4 of these traits were exhibited today by firefighter Carden, by his colleagues in Rescue 2, by his other colleagues in Louisville Fire, at EMS, at LMPD that were on the scene. And not just today, but every day. Seeing events like this happen make me so proud to be a citizen of Louisville. We are fortunate for all of your colleagues' service, for all of our dedicated EMS professionals, for all of our dedicated men and women of LMPD that work every day to keep all of us in the city that we love safe. So thank you all to all of your colleagues so much for their effort. And with that, we are happy to take any questions from the media.
For the transportation gap.
Sure, James.
It looks like that truck was able to pierce through that guardrail pretty easily. Is that bridge safe for truck traffic?
We feel like the bridge is safe. It was last inspected in September of 2023, and it was rated in a fair condition. As we would in any accident, anytime there's a crash like this, is we're certainly going to evaluate the bridge and see if there are any kind of changes that would need to be made. But right now, we're primarily just focused on getting the bridge inspected and then reopened to traffic right now. But yes, the bridge is a safe bridge.
Or be able to drive a semi through those girders, through that concrete or that steel, would be hard if you were not trying, if you were trying to.
Right.
Talk to us about how hard it was to get that truck in the position that it's in.
The accident reconstruction is still ongoing, and until we see the results of that, I wouldn't be able to speculate on how the truck was able to get in the location it was, hanging off the bridge. But certainly, though, we're going to go back and we'll look at that and evaluate that. We call that an after-action evaluation that we will conduct after we get the accident report completed, and then we'll take a look at that, certainly. But our focus right now is just on the inspection, the assessment, and then reopening the bridge.
How many vehicles go across that bridge?
There's 24,000 vehicles per day on the bridge.
How is that increase from the time before bridge?
I don't know the numbers that the bridge has increased in traffic since the tolling was instituted, but currently there's 4 lanes on the bridge, 2 lanes each direction. But we certainly, I don't know that number, but we can certainly get that to you. The lanes are about 10.5 feet wide. So they are narrow lanes along the bridge. The bridge was built in 1929. So, at the time, of course, it was, I don't know this for certain, but I'm sure it was built as a 2-lane bridge. And then as traffic increased over time, it was widened to accommodate 4 lanes.
Just to add on to that, in the past, there have been accidents where people have been hit by semis, some resulted in deaths, and then after today's crash, today's accident, will semis be able to still travel on the bridge?
Yeah, the roadway that it carries US 31 Second Street Bridge, though, it's an important connector into downtown Louisville. And at this time, we would expect that it would still be able to carry commercial truck traffic into downtown Louisville. It is an important connection, but certainly we will evaluate that. It's got the roadway in this location is a 35-mile-per-hour roadway. So it's got barrier curbs on the outside of the travel lanes. But we certainly, once we see the results of the accident investigation, though, we will take a look at that and examine and see if any changes need to be made.
And do you know which way the truck was traveling on the bridge before it crashed?
We do not know at this time which way but that will certainly be determined by law enforcement. Yeah.
Accident report after.
Yes.
You know, how many people were injured total and how many were hospitalized?
For right now, out of respect for the privacy of those involved, it was 4 vehicles that were involved, and a few right now are dealing with life-threatening injuries, and we'll provide more detail on that as we move forward.
Thank you.
The truck driver, did she sustain any injuries and what happened on her?
I don't believe she did, the truck driver.
So when we actually were able to talk to her while she was in the truck, she seemed stable and okay. But once we got her on the bridge, we immediately turned her over to EMS, transported her just to be safe, because certainly an impact like that, a mechanism of injury, when you're talking about that truck that, did hit something pretty hard, get her checked out. But, she was in good spirits for what she'd been through.
Was that truck empty or was it full?
I'm not sure that we know that answer right now. We'll probably have more information on that once the tower crews get there and are able to remove the truck, and we'll know more information about that. All right, thank you all very much. We'll continue to provide updates as we can, particularly as it relates to traffic related to the Second Street Bridge and what a timeline is for reopening of that. In the meantime, please be safe, take your time, be patient, and make sure you plan out your routes ahead of time through the evening tonight. Thank you all very much. Absolutely. Thanks a lot.